Founder of 1064 Degrees, remember.
Come on, guys, on your feet. Come on.
Step into the future, power in your hands. As a rhythm that rewrites the plans. From AI smarts to chat GPT flow, we're building tomorrow. Come on, let's go. We're running Gen I master classes worldwide. Keynotes that inspire, light up the inside. And when it's time to play and think with intention, it's dawn of disruption, the AI board game invention.
You're most welcome.
You've seen the buzz, now feel the spark. From prompt to power, we're light in the dark. It's not just talk, it's vision and skill.
Right. So, now, I'm sure there's one or two of you thinking, I wonder if that's really him. Come on, own up. Who thought that? Oh, the whole room. Okay. Okay. So from this guy to that guy in 15 minutes using AI. And I know you've heard a whole lot of stuff about AI yesterday, and you will today. 15 minutes, that's all it took. From a real crappy little photograph my wife took of me with her cell phone, put that into Try It On. It generated this, and it gave me a lacquer cool leather jacket. It's so cool that. And yeah, then took that, used Suno to create the actual song. That took 5 minutes, and it's free. And then put it into Hedra, took that still image, and created the video. So that's 15 minutes. And that is the power of AI. For someone like this who cannot sing and doesn't look like that, to look like that and to perform like that, those are the possibilities that AI has. Virtually anything that you would like to do, AI can help you. Okay, so we've been in this game for close to 10 years, training and advising companies on AI, the future of AI. We use a board game, as you would have heard, to do that. And I reckon we know what's going on. But every single day, I wake up and remind myself, I know enough to know that I don't know enough. Okay? I know enough to know that I don't know enough. That is the AI space. So even the presentation that was put together Tuesday evening very quickly, using AI tools like Gamma and so on, that's changed because in the last 2 days, 2.5 days, so much has changed. And yes, I've got it. I might not even look at most of the presentation. Why? Because new things have happened. Just workshops we ran yesterday, day before, things came up that we suddenly see, wow, that is important. Let's talk about that. So that's where we are now, and the title, the Augmented HR, Architecting the Future. So I'm going to start with this, and I've got a gripe with you and your industry. Is that okay? Okay. Why is it that less than 5% of CEOs, and we don't have that information in South Africa, we have it in the US, of Fortune 500 companies, only less than 5% of those CEOs came from an HR background? Why? What is you, and I'm going to include myself in this industry, what are we doing wrong that we aren't getting into those CEO positions? Why are they not taking us seriously? In the age of AI, the single most important thing is not tech. And with all due respect to the tech guys here, they've got unbelievable software. I've seen some of them. I walked around checking it out. It's not about tech. It's about the people using it. It's a people thing. And what do the techies know about it? So to promote a chief technical officer, a CIO into that CEO role, they know tech and very little else. CFOs know money and very little else. Your ops guys know ops and very little else. Who knows people better than you guys? No one. Okay. And this, I think, is what we need to drive home, is that your role has way more important than it's ever been before. You're not just a service department. It's up to you guys to steer where the company's going on this AI journey. Are you happy with that? Okay, so let's get into it. Now, I believe you're a very, very smart bunch, so 22813, what would this number, what is this, what do you think this number is? Anyone, just shout it out. Come on. No one. Not even a wild guess. You're in a casino. There may or may not be a prize if for whoever's closest. Okay, we're not going to get there. Okay, 22,813 tools, AI tools. That's what we have in our database at the moment. And yet, whenever we're with a group, we say, okay, how many of you are using 1 to 5 AI tools? And most of the hands go up. 6 to 10, a few. 11 and more, it's a couple of techies who don't have a life, and it's them. So yeah, how many of you use 1 to 5 daily, 1 to 5 AI tools? Okay, 6 to 10? No one's going to own up to being 11 and more. 11 and more? Okay, so see what I'm saying? So if that is it, if there are so many different tools and we only know about a few or using a few, we are AI illiterate. Now, it doesn't mean to say that all these tools are good. So much of them are rubbish. There's so much rubbish out there. So many of them are duplications. So many of them just aren't even AI, but they sold as AI. Now, we need to have a AI literacy. We need to be AI literate. If not, the world's just going to pass us by, and we're going to have no idea what's going on. And the AI literacy starts with you guys. Who else is better prepared to equip the people that are in your organizations with this AI literacy? And it starts with you guys, but where else would it start? It starts with your executives, your CEOs. And I know that whenever I say it, clients say, oh, but we can't go to our CEO and tell them they must do this and tell them. Yes, you must. All right? If you want them to take you seriously, if you want that to go on that path to CEO, you've got to insist. You guys need to be AI literate, and we're going to put you on that path, AI literacy. The second thing that we're going to talk about and will be AI mindset, so I'll talk about that. And then the third one, strategy. I'm going to keep it simple like that. So let's go back into numbers. Okay? ChatGPT. How many of you use it? Okay? I'd imagine most of your organizations on Copilot, right? Okay, that's ChatGPT's slower brother. It's just that because it's a bit slower, not so smart, doesn't have friends, so doesn't tell the friends about it. But I'd like you to think about this right now. If this is where ChatGPT, and I'm going to use it generically for all of the LLMs, the large language models, if this is where we are now, ChatGPT 5, are we equipped for that? And most organizations aren't. My question is, what about ChatGPT 10? What will your organization, what will the world look like when ChatGPT 10 is around? Does anyone have an idea? You don't have to share it, just to put up a hand. Anyone? I don't know. And I spend my days researching it. But I've got an idea of where it could go and where it might not go. Now, I'm going to do something that no conference speaker should ever do, and I'm going to do a live demo for you. Because what's going to happen is suddenly, when I used ChatGPT just now, it worked well. I managed to get a signal. And whenever you do a live demo, it doesn't, something always goes wrong. So I'm going to go on ChatGPT 10. And, yo.
Hey, Mark. Hey there, what's up?
Yeah.
Let me know what you need.
Yeah, all good. All good. So I'm with a group of people today, a really smart bunch at a conference, the future of HR. I'd like you, we're out in Kempton Park, South Africa. So I'd like you to speak with a strong South African accent, use a lot of slang, and say hi to everyone here and give them a motivational message relative to the stuff we spoke about earlier this morning.
Absolutely, Mark, I got you. All right, everyone, how's it? So lucky to be chatting to all of you here in Kempton Park. Listen, you guys are a proper sharp bunch, and I just want to remind you, don't get discombobulated by all the AI chat. You're already on the front foot. Just keep your minds open, your questions flowing, and remember, we're here to outlearn the machines, not outwork them. So let's have a jolt with it.
Great. Chat later. So I have this one-on-one relationship with ChatGPT. I think my wife's getting jealous. But this is it. The immense power of, and I'm using it generically, please, ChatGPT and others. This is where we are today. Imagine what we can do in 5 years' time. So we have got to change our mindset. Get rid of the old legacy systems and, more importantly, the legacy thinking that has crept into the organizations that we're part of, and start thinking, wow, I wonder what is possible. And whatever you think is possible is possible. It just might not be today. It might be tomorrow. It might be a week's time, a month's time. Things change at incredible pace. So we have to have that mindset, that flexibility to think, what is possible? Okay? And everyone is so busy with their day-to-day lives that they're not doing it. We struggle to do this, and that's all we do for a living. Imagine you guys have got real jobs. Okay? So it's up to you guys to explore what's going on there, do research, use Synthesia, use ChatGPT, do your deep research, find out what's happening. There are AI tools for training. The learning and development space, the HR space, has more AI tools than any other sector of business, followed by sales and marketing. But it's your space. And you guys are now able to put in the learning and development space, you're able to use so many of these tools to create things so quickly and so inexpensively. They call it the multimodal approach. Instead of just having, here's a training video, there we are, or we sit in a classroom, let's do it. The ability to use different modes of training, of learning, and even the term learning, training, forget about all of that. It's about engagement. How do you engage with your people that work for you? It's engagement. How do you engage? Rather than how do you train, how do you learn, how do you manage? It's engagement. And there's so many of those tools. So I'm not going to look at all of this, okay? I'm not going to look into this. My focus, as I said earlier, will be on developing this adaptive and engaged leadership, engaging, okay? How would you get them to buy into this? When what's happening in companies now is, when we say to companies, AI, you're interested? Yeah, have you got AI? Yes, we've got AI tools. But really, that is AI lipstick. Companies are putting AI on just to say we've got AI. All right? And they don't work. It doesn't work that way. You cannot just put one thing in. You've got a whole ecosystem that your AI tools have to fit into. It has to be the right tool for your organization, for your culture of your organization. There's so much that you have to consider rather than give it to your CTO and say, oh, go find us an AI tool, or put one in here, or put one in there. And you can't do that. So, how do you develop this? The first thing I'd say for HR people is to break down the silos. The one thing AI does is break down silos within organizations. There isn't just a HR department, an accounts department, and a marketing and sales department. That's last century thinking. The thinking these days is, as an organization, you have to develop skills that are not just deep, but that are broad. And you have to know what's going on in every single part of the organization. Now, you might say, oh, but that's a challenge. But it is so simple. Let me give you an example. One of my favorite tools is Notebook LM. Is anyone using it? No one? One. Thank you. How'd you find it? A thumbs up or down? Do you like it? Okay. So let me give you an example of how this works. So it's by Google. So it's not, and we're not trying to promote it and sell it. We're not affiliates in any way. But it's amazing. So I go into Notebook LM. Well, maybe I start there, but maybe before I go onto a Synthesia for research, or I go into a ChatGPT, and I look at something like, it's a passion of mine, metacognition. Understanding how we understand. And you can roll it out. Learning about how we learn. So I go on, and I go onto YouTube. This is one option. And I go onto TED Talks, and I might find 50 TED Talks purely on metacognition. I upload the URL onto Notebook LM. It's free of charge for most people. You won't ever have to pay a premium. It gives me a little summary. I then ask for a transcript of everything of each of those videos. It does it. I then ask it a whole number of questions, and it prompts me to questions that I wouldn't have thought of. I then take that and I say, okay, create a podcast for me. And it creates a podcast for me based on that content. Recently, about a month ago, they added a video facility into it, a feature, which is great. And yesterday, I noticed on mine, it's taken about a week to come through in full to mine, they've now included Nano Banana, which is a Google product, into that. So unbelievable videos that you can create on that. There's exams, there's quizzes, there's questions. So if there is a subject, let's say I'm speaking next week at a conference on a particular industry, within one day, within half a day, I can be a subject matter expert on that industry. That is the power that it gives us. We all have that power. And this is the journey that we're on. It's learning. It's about growth. It's about developing. It's about developing knowledge and skills that previously weren't part of our function and our responsibility. Okay? Breadth of knowledge, not depth. And not only that, your ability to not just know. We've moved from a knowledge economy to a skills economy. We're now in a skills economy. We're not in a knowledge economy anymore. Because why? All the knowledge is here. We have to have the ability to turn that knowledge into skills. Again, just to give you an idea, I was at a technical college about a month ago. I did a talk. They said, come look at our technical college. And previously, technical colleges were, that's for people who got their standard 6s, grade 8s. But it's not anymore. This is a college for people who got minimum of 66% for maths in matric. These are most unbelievable, it's the most unbelievable colleges, Saltec in Pretoria. And then I started to explore. And what I found out that in the US, and again, these figures we don't have local, so excuse me if I'm using the US, but what happens is that 6% of university graduates in the US, only 6%, well, only, it's a fortune, are unemployed. For the first time in their history, the unemployment rate of university graduates is higher than their national average. So, what does it mean? It means that your normal universities and college education is not cutting it. Maybe it's experience, maybe it's other things. So, they have to re-look at how they are performing, and you guys as companies have to look at how you're performing, how you are training, how you are upskilling your own people. Okay, so I'm going to open up for a few questions and then I'm going to wrap up. So any questions? I know there is a roving mic somewhere. Any questions?
Good morning. Thank you so much for a fantastic presentation and great music. I just wanted to ask a very basic question about, and we are small SMMEs, is do you think all the free AI tools are going to become like fee-based? So I'm feeling like I'm with a drug dealer at the moment with them. They're giving me a free hit, and then at one stage they're going to make me pay a lot.
Sorry, I'm struggling to hear from here.
Oh, can you hear better now?
Shout.
Shout?
Yeah.
Okay. No, I was just wondering if you think that all the free like AI tools are going to become like come with the fees in the next 2 to 3 years, and that's something that we have to consider in terms of financial perspective.
Okay, so I'm struggling to hear that. Can someone closer maybe heard that? Okay, so where things are going, your ChatGPT, for example, doesn't make money. Okay, it doesn't, yes. But then again, Uber doesn't make money, it never has. Okay, they've got a wealth of information. Eventually, one day they'll have this database and this client base that they'll sell off to someone else. I think that what's happened with DeepSeek, for example, being free and having a lower cost structure, it'll force companies to charge less and less and less. We are not stupid. We are not going to be paying for things the way we used to pay for software, exorbitant amounts of money. Everything these days is $20-something a month for a paid version, but you can get free versions and so on. I think that where things are going, and it's another discussion, is going the agent route, AI agents, where things do one thing and another and another. You won't, give you an example. You won't, if you want to, and we're already playing with things like this in our workshops, if you want to book a trip we're going to Cape Town every week, we want to book a trip to Cape Town, we can go on to one of the LLMs like ChatGPT, one of those, and go to it and say, find me accommodation in this area for that amount, etc., with the sea view, blah, blah, because we're Balis, we want a sea view, and there it'll do it. We can now even get it to pay for it without us having done a thing. That's where it's going. So the question, and this is where I want your creativity to kick in, what happens to SEO? SEO is history. Or it's not history now, it will be history. Why? You won't be searching and Googling or anything. You'll go into your LLM, I'll speak to ChatGPT, and I'll say, tell her the instruction, and she'll go through the whole thing with agents and book it and do everything. That is where we're going. And not where we're going. That's where you can do it right now, right today. But that's where the future is. So I think the LLMs are going to change in how they work. They might get kickbacks from the credit card companies. I don't know how that's going to work. But that's the direction. Anyone else? A mic here in the front, please.
Morning, I'm Stefan from BTS. Thank you very much. Really enjoyed that talk. And I thought your analogy of the lipstick was a useful one. What are you seeing, if we draw a distinction between firms who are authentically, credibly, actually building AI-first mindsets and skills and a capacity in the organization for people to unlock the value of the technology and apply it to real value creation in the business, versus those who are applying the lipstick. They're singing the AI tune, but it's on the surface. It's not an actual. What are they doing differently? What are you observing?
So it's a good question there. Thank you. What we find, we say to companies, and I mentioned earlier, we used to say we had a 5-point step to companies. We help them develop AI strategy. First thing is AI literacy, right? We've covered that. Next thing is AI mindset. And it sounds so simple, but you guys know better than anyone else. That culture, that mindset is so difficult. Then what we used to say, develop strategy. Then implementation, number 4, optimization, number 5. And we changed it. We only changed it in January. We now said because when we play our game or when we do workshops, what we said to companies, go out and play with it. Now, play is not a business word. It wasn't a business. That's got to become a business word. Go and play. Go and explore. Go try. Go pilot. Fail at something. Play with it. Fail. Give them guardrails. That's hugely important. Don't disclose public information with POPI Act and so on. But go and play. Then strategy. And then implementation, optimization 1. But you can play for the next year. If you go into ChatGPT and say, how should whatever organization, a typical organization, how long should they take to implement AI? It's not 1 month, 6 months, a year. Normally it's 3.5 to 4 years to actually transition, because you know what it's like, getting people to change. So if that answers that question. And who's going to do it? Not the CEO, not the CTO, not the CIO, not the CFO, the CHRO. That's you guys. So I don't want to overstep my time. I'm going to leave you with one short story. There's this emperor of this faraway country. His chief ninja is reaching my age. They're retiring him. And they use a AI tool, the best recruitment tool out there. I'm not going to mention the name because I see there's AI tools there that do that, so I don't want to upset anyone. It could be one of them. And they got a short list of 3 ninjas, and they're in a room like this. These are the judges. They've got this table laid out with these glass jugs with a little cork at the top and a little fly buzzing around in each one. So they say to the first ninja, he's Japanese, he's from Okinawa, you ready? He said, Os. That's ready. He's got his katana, his sword. They release it quick as a flash. 4 absolutely symmetrical pieces. They weigh it, they measure it, absolutely identical. Clap of hands. The next ninja is from South Africa. He's from Centurion. His name is Drickus. So they say, are you ready? He says, jy weet nie wat ons weet nie. Okay. They release it quick as a flash. Nou weet jy wat ons weet. Okay. The third ninja is a Jewish ninja. He's got his little knife like this. They release it quick as a flash. Chuk, chuk, chuk. And the little fly gently flies out the window. So Drickus says, ach shame. He said, what do you mean, ach shame? He says, you never killed it. So the ninja says, you don't realize the purpose of circumcision is not to kill. So what is the lesson? The first thing, when it comes to AI, you have to have the right tools. That's it. When it comes to, they have to be effective. The third thing, it has to make you different. AI can make every single individual here different, stand out. It can make your department stand out. It can make your organization stand out. You need to use it to make you stand out. And you guys, it's up to you guys to develop that sort of ninja mindset in your organizations. From my side, guys, I've really enjoyed being here with you today. Hope you have a really lacquer day, and thank you.